So Thursday was one of those days. Let me walk you through it. I'll cover what I was looking at before the open, the setup I took, and why I decided to call it a day after that. So this is the 15-minute chart just before the open. The key levels I had marked were the Asia high, the weekly gap, and last week Friday's low. Now looking at the structure coming into Thursday, the market had been pushing lower and it kind of looked like they were going to take the Friday's lows, but it wasn't clear enough to commit to a bias. So my plan heading into the session was simple. Sit tight, wait for more structure to develop, and not force anything early. Now, this is what happened after the open. The market did not take the Friday's lows as I thought it might. Instead, it pushed higher and came up into the weekly gap zone. You can see it started rejecting from there, but then about 30 minutes later, they pushed it right back up into the weekly gap, again before coming back down. This kind of back and forth price action inside a zone is a red flag for me. It tells me there is no clear conviction in either direction, and the market is just hunting liquidity on both sides. So at this point, I was still waiting for something cleaner to develop. Now, later in the session, around the 11:15 area, a 15-minute gap formed. When price first came back into this gap, it just consolidated inside the zone for about 45 minutes. No clear setup, so I stayed out. But price then came back down, moved away from the zone, and came up into this FEG a second time. This second visit is where I started looking for a setup on the lower time frame. Zooming into the 1 minute chart, a short setup did form here and I took it with a 25-point stop loss. Unfortunately, price came back up and took my stop loss out. It was a clean setup that matched the overall structure, but it just didn't work out this time. That's part of trading, not every valid setup wins. What matters is the process was right and the risk was defined and controlled. Looking at how the rest of the day played out, you can see that the market pushed significantly higher and eventually closed the RTH gap. Now you might be wondering, was there a long setup there? Honestly, the price action throughout the day was really messy. The back and forth in the morning, the stop hunt, and then the reversal. This kind of day is very difficult to trade. After taking the stop loss, I decided to stay out for the rest of the session. Protecting your capital on bad price action days is just as important as finding good trades. So that was Thursday. One setup, one stop loss, and the right decision to walk away after that. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll see you tomorrow.